Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. I'm Ryan Witry. Tonight we start with severe weather. A severe storm watch is still in effect for part of the tri-state, and some counties are under a flash flood warning. Let's get right to meteorologist Stacy May in the Weather Center. We have breaking news now out of Western Kentucky. The Davis County Sheriff's Office says an Owensboro police officer has been shot. We are working to get more information and are waiting for calls back. We will keep you updated both on air and online at tristatehomepage.com. Once again, the Davis County Sheriff's Office confirming that an Owensboro police officer has been shot. Their condition is not known at this time. Well, the Tri-State is home to an American Idol contestant. 17-year-old Dakota Hayden is going all the way from beautiful Fordsville, Kentucky in Ohio County to one of the biggest shows in the country. He joins us now. Dakota, how does it feel to be on the show? You can hear right now negotiators are trying to get Michael White out of what they believe is a barn just down the road here in Linville. This room's a little bit different. You see, this is the rage room where you can smash just about anything from cups and bowls. Every year during the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament, it feels like you can't go down a city block here in Evansville without seeing the blue and gold for Murray State. And this year is certainly no difference. Murray State fans have packed Evansville. Surely visitors here to the Evansville Wartime Museum will know all about the P-47 Hoosier Spirit too, but I would like to welcome you to the B-25 Champagne Gale here this weekend at the Evansville Wartime Museum. For decades, Easter Seals has provided critical services for children and adults with disabilities all across the Tri-State. Well, Bailey's here now with sports, and finally, the Tri-State is home to Hall of Famer one Gil Hodges.
Finally. Took long enough, right?
All right. $500,000 just for selling the ticket. Well, meteorologist Cody Bailey is checking the latest in the Weather Center. And Cody, I take it you did not win the Mega Millions.
I did not. No,
well, neither did I, but at least it was a nice day outside.
It was. Kind of hit the lottery for weather-wise.
Yes. Right now at 6, we take a look at the legacy of a Tri-State native inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Plus, all eyes on the Indiana State House ahead of the start of the special session tomorrow with inflation relief and abortion rights on the agenda. And now that we're in the midst of county fair season, we'll take a closer look at the 4-H exhibits being presented at this year's Vanderburgh County Fair. Eyewitness News at 6 starts right now.
Live from the CW7 studio, this is Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well tonight. I'm Ryan Witry. We start tonight all the way in Cooperstown, New York, where Gil Hodges, the man born in Princeton, raised in Petersburg before becoming an 8-time All-Star, the Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodgers, and a 3-time World Series winning player and manager, finally got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Bailey Smith is here with the details. And Bailey, what a day for Gil Hodges, his fans, and his family.
Well, this is a long overdue day for Gil Hodges, but almost 60 years after he hung up his cleats and just over 50 years after he died suddenly during spring training in 1972, he's finally a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame alongside many of his Dodgers teammates. Now, Hodges is best known for his steady play, a key part of the Dodgers teams that won 7 National League pennants and 2 World Series titles before managing the Miracle Mets to a World Series title in 1969. Now, this is a massive day for his family and his fans right here in the Tri-State, and we'll have more from today's big induction ceremony later on today in sports.
All right, well, thank you, Bailey. And as the city of Petersburg celebrates one of their own making the Baseball Hall of Fame, a group of students at Pike Central High School are making it easier for people to learn about Petersburg history. Students research different points of the town's history, from Gil Hodges, of course, to a former orphan home. The project was the brainchild of Beth Bonert and her class of sophomore students who say they enjoyed learning something new about their hometown.
I really enjoyed it and learning about it, and I hope she does more projects like that too.
The signs correspond with the city's fitness trail. It's free to use, and all you have to do is use a smartphone to scan a special code on the sign. And even though we're sweltering with summer, back to school season is closer than you may realize. Parents are looking for savings, especially with inflation eating into their paychecks.
Colored pencils purchased throughout the year.
That was Deirdre Bolton reporting. Another source of help is coming to 16 states where no sales tax will be applied on school supplies, including shoes and clothes. Alabama and Florida are the earliest states offering those breaks, and many parents agree that any break on back-to-school shopping is appreciated. Well, 4-H exhibits are already being judged ahead of the official kickoff of the Vanderburgh County Fair. 4-H members presenting exhibits in horticulture, pets, aquatic, and gardening checked in today, and officials say the fair is a great place for kids to learn. One 4-H official says she enjoys seeing the hard work put into the projects.
But essentially, the 4-H member will learn different skills throughout the year. And then
Megan Hoffer says the 4-H not only provides opportunities for kids to hone valuable skills, they can also use those skills throughout their life and present kids with career ideas as well. One firefighter was hurt after a garage fire in Evansville this morning. Firefighters were sent to the 2400 block of Joan Place just before 11 o'clock. Crews say a fire in a detached garage spread quickly to the wooden deck of the home, and a wooden cross attached to the deck fell on a firefighter, but he is expected to be okay. Firefighters say a neighboring home was also damaged because of the heat of the flames. We're told this was a vacant home. The fire is still under investigation. And in Owensboro, firefighters were sent to a home on Whitetail Court around 3:30 this morning. They say the homeowner made it out of the home safely due to a working smoke detector. Firefighters say a dog had to be resuscitated at the scene, and they want to remind people that smoke detectors save lives. The Indiana General Assembly is set to kick off its special session tomorrow with a special focus on Senate Bill 1. That bill would ban abortions at all times during pregnancy, except in cases of rape, incest, and risk to the mother's health. The bill is drawing backlash from both anti-abortion groups and groups that support abortion rights. Katie Blair, the ACLU of Indiana, argues it infringes on women's rights.
It does nothing to protect women.
Based upon polling results and in complete disregard to voters who helped establish these Republican supermajorities.
The special session starts tomorrow morning. Lawmakers have until August 14th to finish the session. Still ahead, we take a look at how the nation is dealing with the high heat as some areas see temperatures they haven't seen in a very long time. You're watching Eyewitness News at 6, so stay with us. Well, meteorologist Stacey May is here with us now, and we are certainly in the middle of that heat wave.
Yeah,
and
like exactly what she said. It's too hot, right?
Yeah, today was a great day to be inside in the air conditioning.
It really was. It was.
It's sad to see it go like that because nobody wants to see that diamond flea market to go down like it did.
Then and now. Almost a year after the Diamond Avenue flea market caught fire, vendors are left with photos and memories as they try to rebuild at other flea markets.
It's not going to be as good as Diamond was, but it's making business.
The burning part I couldn't do anything about. I just had to restart. So I took everything I had and started with 2 booths here at Cowboy Gyms, and now I got 25. Just a lot of grinding.
Others rebuilding at their own new location.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's pretty vicious. And Magneto.
We couldn't have done this without the community being so strong. I didn't realize as many people cared as they did. I mean, I always tried to do what I could for everybody, and so did the others. And to see how many people reached out and did what they did, I mean, it blew me away.
Diamond Avenue flea market owner Barbara Staub is still struggling to come to terms with the sudden loss.
I've gone through an emotional roller coaster that's unbelievable. And, you know, if you haven't been through a fire, you can't possibly know. It used to be when I would talk to people and they would say that they had a house fire and they lost everything. I mean, you're sympathetic, but unless you've been through it, you just totally don't understand the devastation it creates.
Like many of her vendors, Staub has spent much of the last year trying to salvage what she could as they continue to cope.
Basically promised all of my vendors when the fire first happened that I would definitely go through and see if there was anything salvageable in the building, and that's what I've been doing. I've been digging through it by hand, trying to find as much of the stuff that I can that could be salvaged that they could still sell.
Almost a year later, Staub says she isn't sure if justice was truly served, but she says she misses her friends and vendors.
I love them, and I miss them with all my heart.
It's Friday night at Moe's house in Evansville. People can order just about anything, beer to Italian margaritas. But one thing they aren't ordering, more road work just outside the door.
there's not been one person down here that says what this neighborhood needs is a roundabout at all. The neighbors or anything. I've not heard one person say, I'm really waiting for that roundabout to come in.
In 2013, the city of Evansville pushed for a plan to revamp the streets around Haney's Corner, and phase 1 is already complete. But for business owners like Mariah Hobgood, phase 1 alone caused plenty of problems.
No one could park. It was a lot of detours that were kind of giving an arrow this way and that way and trying to get people down here that were still just like, you know, it's difficult to get here. So what ends up happening is just people would rather go somewhere else where the road's not ripped up versus come here where they're going around in a maze trying to figure it out.
Executive Director of Metropolitan Development, Kelly Kors, says the plan was hatched to promote economic development in the area, but he says those plans are no longer needed.
Business and commerce and new housing has already sprung up. So after 8 years' time, life went on, and we don't feel this project is needed any longer.
After phase 1 and the pandemic, Kors says businesses in Haney's Corner don't need more disruptions.
They managed to hang on, but they're just now starting to regenerate themselves after COVID, after the streets were closed. And so we want to try and do everything we can to make sure that there's no further economic damage to the neighborhood. And that's, we fear that 2 years of road closings would do that.
I'm a widow.
Back at Mo's house, Hobgood has her own suggestions for the intersection.
City buses love to fly down by here, so I mean a speed bump and a stop sign might help a whole lot more than a massive roundabout going in out front.